questions 1 through 10 on the 2009 grade 12 AMC 12A. Kim's flight took off from Newark at 10:34 a.m. and landed in Miami at 1:18 p.m. Both cities are in the same time zone. If her flight took h hours and m minutes with 0 less than m less than 60, what is h plus m? 10:34 a.m. until 1:18 p.m. And in terms of hours and minutes, that is 2 hours and 44 minutes. So that means h is equal to 2 and m is equal to 44. So h plus m is equal to 2 plus 44, which is 46. So number 1, the answer is A. Which of the following is equivalent to this expression? So we have 1 over a whole bunch of 1's. So this one looks like 1 plus 1 over 2. And then if we keep going, that is 1 plus 1 over 2, which is 3 over 2. And then invert and multiply, and this becomes 2 over 3. And then finally, 1 plus 2 over 3 is 5 over 3. So number 2, the answer is C. What number is 1/3 of the way from 1/4 to 3/4? So first, let's figure out the distance from 1/4 to 3/4. And we do that by subtracting, and that is just 2 over 4, which is a half. Now we have to take 1/3 of that, which is 1/6. And then we then have to add 1/6 to our starting point, which is a quarter, to get what number is 1/3 between those two. So 1/4 plus 1 over 6, it looks like 6 plus 4 over 24, and that is 10 over 24. In lowest terms, it's 5 over 12. So number 3, the answer is B. 4 coins are picked out of a piggy bank that contains a collection of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. Which of the following could not be the total value of the 4 coins in cents? Well, let's see if we can figure this out. 55 you can get by a quarter and 3 dimes. 45 you can get with a quarter, 1 dime, and 2 nickels. 35 you could get with 3 dimes and a nickel. 25 you can get with a dime and 3 nickels. And all of these have 4 coins, but you really can't get 15 in any scenario with 4 coins. So therefore, by process of elimination, the answer is A. One dimension of a cube is increased by 1, another is decreased by 1, and the third is left unchanged. The volume of the new rectangular solid is 5 less than that of the cube. What was the volume of the cube? X plus 1, x minus 1, and x. These are the dimensions of this new rectangular solid. And they're saying that that is 5 less than the volume of the cube. Volume of a cube, of course, is just x to the power of 3, where x is the side of the cube. So this is the mathematical equation that we have to solve. So let's see, we got x squared minus 1 times x. This is just x to the power of 3 minus 5. If we expand this, you get x to the power of 3 minus x is x to the power of 3 minus 5. And I believe the x3's cancel, so you're just left with minus x is minus 5. Therefore, x is equal to 5. And they want you to find the volume of the cube. The volume of the cube is x to the power of 3. So that's 5 to the power of 3, which is 125. So number 5, the answer is D. Suppose that P is equal to 2 to the power of m and Q is equal to 3 to the power of n. Which of the following is equal to 12 to the power of mn for every pair of integers mn? 12 to the power of m times n. We can break this up into 2 times 3, all to the power of m times n, like that. And therefore, this becomes 2 to the power of m times n, 2 to the power of m times n, and then 3 to the power of m times n. So we want something with p's and q's, right? Because all the answer choices are in p's and q's. Well, I think we can do that. 2 to the power of m to the n, 2 to the power of m to the n, but this one, 3 to the power of n to the m, like that. And if you do that, we can now substitute our p's and q's. This becomes p to the power of n, p to the power of n, and q to the power of m. So this finally becomes p to the power of 2n times q to the power of m. And that is choice E for number 6. The first three terms of an arithmetic sequence are 2x minus 3, 5x minus 11, and 3x plus 1, respectively. The nth term of the sequence is 2009. What is n? First term, second term, third term, and nth term. So the first term in an arithmetic sequence is of the form a. Second term is a plus d. Third term is a plus 2d, and so on, right? And the nth term will be a plus n minus 1d. So if we can figure out a and d, hopefully we'll be able to figure out n. Well, a plus d, a plus 2d, they gave us 2x minus 3, 5x minus 11, and 3x plus 1. Now, what is important to remember in an arithmetic sequence is that when you take the second term and subtract from it the first term, it's equivalent to the third term subtracting from it the second term, because all you get left with is just d's. D equals d. So that's what we're going to do in this one. So here we go. That means that this minus this is equivalent to this minus that. So that means 5x minus 11 minus 2x plus 3 is equivalent to 3x plus 1 minus 5x plus 11. So let's see here. This gives me 3x minus 8 is minus 2x plus 12. 5x is therefore equal to 20, and therefore x is equal to 4. So that means that this 2x minus 3 is 2 times 4, which is 8, minus 3, which is 5. 5x minus 11, substituting x equal to 4, becomes 20 minus 11, which is 9. And then 3x plus 1 with x equal to 4 is 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 1, which is 13. So as you can clearly see, a is equal to 5, and d is the common difference, which, as you can clearly see, is equal to 4, right? So there we go. Now we can work with this one. They tell you that is equal to 2009, so I can substitute a and d to figure out n. A is 5 plus n minus 1 times 4 is equal to 2009. That means n minus 1 times 4 is equal to 2004. N minus 1 is equal to 501, and therefore n is equal to 502. So number 7, the answer is B. 4 congruent rectangles are placed as shown. The area of the outer square is 4 times that of the inner square. What is the ratio of the length of the longer side of each rectangle to the length of the shorter side? I'll label this L and this W. This is W, this is W, like that. So what they want is really L over W. And they tell us that the area of the outer square, which is L plus W squared in our variables, is 4 times the area of the smaller square, which is this smaller square inside. And that is L minus W squared. So we'll expand this. L squared plus 2LW plus W squared is equal to 4L squared minus 8LW plus, or minus rather, 4w squared positive, actually. So let's put everything on one side and see what we get. If we do, we get 3l squared minus 10lw plus 3w squared. And I think this can factor 3l minus w and l minus 3w is equal to 0. So that means that L is equal to 3W. The other one is inadmissible since L has to be greater than W according to how we labeled it. So if L equals 3W, this is pretty simple to figure out. 3W over W, and the W's cancel to just leave 3. So the answer is A. Suppose that f at x plus 3 is equal to 3x squared plus 7x plus 4. F at x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. What is a plus b plus c? All right. Well, if you have f at 1 in that formula, it will get rid of the x's, and you're just left with a plus b plus c. So what I'm going to do is figure out what is the value of f at 1 using that formula. So this is 3x squared plus 7x plus 4. Now be careful, this has to be 1, right? So that means x plus 3 equals 1. So x is equal to negative 2. So f at 1, we substitute x equals negative 2 into that equation. So 3 times negative 2 squared plus 7 times negative 2 plus 4. So this becomes 3 times 4 minus 14 plus 4. So that's 12 plus 4, 16 minus 14 is 2. That's it. So f at 1, which is a plus b plus c, is 2. So 2 is equal to a plus b plus c. So therefore, number 9, the answer is D. In quadrilateral ABCD, AB is equal to 5, BC is equal to 17, and CD is 5, DA is 9, and BD is an integer. What is BD? Let's label this. Let's see here. DA is 9, AB is 5, CD is 5, and CB is 17. Well, we are going to use something called the triangle inequality. And the triangle inequality is something that states that if you have any triangle, let's say you have a triangle that looks like this, and it has sides A, B, and C, that A plus B must be greater than C. So we are going to apply that inequality on the triangles here. So on the first triangle, this one right here, I will apply this inequality. I'll call DB, well, we don't need to call it anything. DB is fine. It basically means that 5 plus DB must be greater than 17. So that means DB is greater than 12. And then we apply the triangle inequality again, but on that triangle, we can say that 9 plus 5 is greater than DB. So that means 14 is greater than DB. So combining this and this, we get that DB is greater than 12, but less than 14. And because DB is an integer, the only possible value for DB is 13. So number 10, the answer is C.